fall, you will decide the future of the state by voting yes on I-2124. This initiative makes the mandatory Long-Term Care Act, WA Cares, optional for workers. Many of us understand the importance of providing top-tier care for our loved ones who require long-term services, live-in care, and the support of healthcare professionals. Our loved ones are more than a number. They're family and friends who deserve to have every need taken care of. Lawmakers assured Washington voters that these concerns would all be accounted for with the implementation of WA Cares. But with a maximum benefit of $36,500 after a lifetime of paying into the program, it's clear that not even a fraction of those concerns will be accounted for. WA Cares imposes a mandatory 0.58% tax on every worker's paycheck, which amounts to 58 cents on every $100 earned. The tax affects every worker in the state and does not allow a worker to choose any other long-term care coverage plan. Washingtonians voted against the WA Cares funding structure and the program twice, and yet the legislature rammed it through. Knowing that voters may not be interested in supporting the program due to their votes against it in the past, lawmakers provided a short opt-out period where 500,000 workers and more decided to get their own Long-Term Care Coverage Act that better suited their needs and their bottom lines. Instead of making that opt-out period continue indefinitely, lawmakers cut it off before any other workers could find their own providers. Long-term care in Washington state costs anywhere from $7,500 to $14,000 per month. Now, with a lifetime benefit of $36,500, that long-term care will only last a few months at best. WA Cares requires a continuous pay-in period of 10 years to be eligible for the promised benefit, so it excludes people who are nearing retirement, disabled workers who don't work enough hours to be eligible, and parents or caregivers who take time off of working to raise their family or care for a loved one. I-2124 simply offers workers a choice. It doesn't mandate that every worker must have their paycheck taxed for insufficient benefits that they may never see. It's time to give workers a choice for their long-term care. It's time to vote yes, pay less with I-2124.
I'm Marguerite Rowe, AARP Washington State Director. AARP, along with 125 other organizations representing more than 3 million Washingtonians, strongly opposes Initiative 2124. I'm here to share why. Initiative 2124 is misleading. It isn't really about giving people choices. In fact, it's a deceptive attempt to take our choices away. According to experts, I-2124 would bankrupt our state's new long-term care insurance program, taking away the only affordable, guaranteed long-term care benefit for working people. If approved, working-class folks and middle-income families will be left with few or no options to turn to when we need support at home due to serious injury, illness, disability, or age. When my mom had a concussion after a fall from an ice storm, I moved in with her to help make meals, drive her to medical appointments, and was there to make sure she had what she needed to recover fully. Whether it's paying for personal home care, home modifications, or transportation needs, the reality is that most people do not have a way to pay for these expenses, which are not covered by traditional health insurance or Medicare. I-2124 is especially harmful to women who often have no choice but to scale back or leave jobs to become caregivers for parents, in-laws, spouses, or other loved ones. If passed, it will increase pressure on women to juggle work, care for their families, and provide unpaid care for their loved ones. This impacts the earning power and well-being of women. Women will be the hardest hit by I-2124. Providing care for a loved one is challenging enough. I-2124 would take away long-term care benefit payments, leaving 3.9 million working people to pay out of pocket or turn to the private long-term care insurance market. If this initiative passes, more than half would likely have no or few coverage options, since private long-term care insurance companies routinely reject people with pre-existing conditions. We oppose I-2124. 70% of us will need long-term care, and that includes the 40% of people who need long-term care support who are under the age of 65. I'm asking you to vote no on 2124. I-2124 is opposed by the Washington State Nurses Association, AARP, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, Washington State Labor Council, Planned Parenthood Alliance Advocates, and the League of Women Voters. Visit www.noon2124.org or call 206-801-0179 to learn more.